Chapter 2, Part 2 of French for Reading. What we're going to do now is we're not going to quite follow the book, but I found that if I introduce this idea here, it works a lot better. We're focusing a lot on the little words in French at the beginning. And so what I want to do now is concentrate on a set of little words that start with the letter C. And later in this lesson, we'll do some other little words that start with similar letters. So this is going to be the C set of little words. And generally, so what we have is we've got su, set, and say. And we have got the masculine singular, the masculine before vowels. We've got the feminine singular, and then we've got the plural for everything. We'll see how that plays out later. Generally, this is translated as this or that, or if it's plural, these or those. So the masculine singular before a consonant is going to be su. The masculine singular before a vowel is going to be set. The feminine singular is going to be set, pronounced the same way also, but we're going to see a lot of times feminine forms of nouns and adjectives end in an E. So here we've got a T in it before a noun. Here we've got two T's and an E when it's feminine. And the plural is going to be say. So the S is silent, but the E, instead of making the short S sound, it's making the say sound. So how does this play out? So if we have ce chat, that would be translated as this cat or that cat, depending on the context. These are called demonstrative adjectives because they're an adjective because you want to point out something. This cat, that cat, this cat, that cat. It depends on the context, how we're going to translate it. And it's a way of pointing out a specific cat. Now, chat is normally masculine, but if you want to make a distinction between a male cat and a female cat, between a Tom and a Queen, if you want to get into cat facts, you could say set chat. And if you want to speak of a female cat, you use C-H-A-T-T-E. We add a feminine ending to it. We double up the consonants and add the E, and that makes it a female cat. And now normally, if you see a female cat, you're just going to call it a cat. You're not going to call it un chat, unless you know that it's a female cat, and then you would call it un chat. So this cat, and this would be this cat. This ce chat and set chat would be this cat. Both of them would be translated this cat or that cat. Now let's go to another example. Ami is the word for friend. It's a masculine word for friend. And again, generally you wouldn't say this boyfriend or girlfriend unless the context says that you should say boyfriend or girlfriend. You would say cet ami would be this friend. And it's we use the CET form in front of ami. Now this is interesting. It's kind of like a and an in English. You say a pear, but an apple. You put the an in front of a consonant or in front of a vowel because it sounds better. An apple. You don't say a apple. And that's why we're doing this T here, cet ami, because if we didn't have that T, it would be CE, and that would, the little words that end in E turn into apostrophes, and it would be C apostrophe AMI, which would be pronounced kami, but no, it's su. It just doesn't work, so that's why we put the T in there to separate. So it'd be cet ami. Now here we've got a friend who's a female, a girlfriend or a female friend. And we would say cet ami, this friend. Now if I was talking about my girlfriend, I would translate, this girlfriend that I have, this girl that I'm dating type friend. But if you're just talking about this friend who's female, you would translate as this friend. So cet ami would be this friend or this girlfriend or that girlfriend. And then ces chats would be, this is plural, we've got the S there. Ces chats would be these cats or those cats. So here it's pronounced ce chat, here it's pronounced ces chats. Now notice that the chat singular and plural are pronounced the same. It's just the demonstrative adjective in front that indicates whether it's singular or plural in the spoken. Ce chat is singular, ces chats is plural. So these are the small family of words that start with the letter C, generally translated this or that, these or those. Now let's look at a small family of words that start with L this time. Le, la, and lay. Now we've already seen these used as the definite articles, which generally mean translated as the masculine, the feminine, the plural, but they can also be used as direct object pronouns, him, her, it, or them. So let's before we discuss what that means, let's look at when do we use the different forms. So le is used for masculine singular words. La is used for feminine singular words. So this would be le chat, la chat. Lay is for the plural of both masculine and feminine. So if you see lay, you can't tell if the word is masculine or feminine. All you can tell is that what follows is plural. Now, as we've alluded to before, le and la become L apostrophe before vowels and words that have a silent H in it. Now, it turns out that all H's are silent in French, but we don't say that they're silent. Some we say they're aspirated, but we'll get to that later. So sometimes before an H, you'll see LE, sometimes you'll see L apostrophe. Turns out it doesn't matter for translation. The meaning's not going to change. So let's see how they're used as a definite article. So here we have la clé. Clé is a key, like treble clef in music. C-L-E-F comes from the word clay. In fact, sometimes la clé is spelled with an F. But we've got la clé, it's feminine, so that's the key. Les clés would be the keys, and that's plural. Le thé is the thé, the tea, like the drink, the tea leaf, a cup of tea. Les thés is the teas, or the cups of tea. And so we've got le thé and les thés, singular and plural. Here we've got l'ami, masculine, and l'ami, feminine. So they both start with a consonant. This one's masculine, this one's feminine, but we use the L apostrophe for both of them. And when they're plural, we use les for both the masculine and the plural. Les amis, les amis. Now notice how we pronounce the S in lay. Generally, LES is just pronounced lay, but when a consonant follows it, we make this liaison. We pronounce that extra sound. We don't say les amis. That would be a little awkward to say. We say les amis. And so les amis and les amis are pronounced the same. Now, like I said, the le, la, or lay can also be direct object pronouns, meaning him, her, or it. Now, What is a direct object pronoun? Direct object pronoun is what receives the action of the verb. If I say, I see him, what do I see? I see him. Him is a direct object pronoun. I see her. I see it. I see them. Those are the direct object pronouns, and we say they're direct because they're attached directly to the verb. There's no pronoun in front of them. So if I say je l'aime, that means I love him, but apostrophe could also be feminine. I love her. But if we're talking about something that doesn't necessarily have a gender in English, like chocolate, it could be I love it. So je l'aime can be translated I love it, I love him, I love her, depending on the context. Or I am loving it, I am loving him, I am loving her. There's context where you could think that's how they could be translated that way. Je les aime means I love them. And so the les is translated them. That's who's receiving my love? Them. I love them. So that's a direct object pronoun, third person plural. Je le déteste. Now, déteste, we get the English word to detest there. It's not always that strong in French. A lot of times it's just I dislike. So I dislike it, or I dislike him. Je les déteste. I dislike them. Je la déteste. I dislike her, or it could be an it that's feminine. So notice the word order. We always have the subject at the beginning, or at least we usually do. We'll come to a few exceptions. And we've got the verb, but the direct object pronoun, like almost all pronouns, is going to come between the subject and the verb. So when we start trying to figure out how to translate all of this, what's really important is to figure out what is the verb, what's the conjugated verb. And we know that the subject's going to come in front of it, and a number of different pronouns. So what do we have in front of it? We have the subject pronoun, which generally comes first, and then we've got other pronouns, and here we've got a direct object pronoun. So I love it. Now you would never want to translate it, I yet love. That we just don't communicate that way in English. That doesn't make any sense. We've got to put it in the right order. I love it, or I love him, or I love her. So here is an exercise for you to do. So you'll stop the video and you will write down answers to all 8 of these. Now, don't look at the next video until you have written down answers to all 8 of these.